What's up, guys? Welcome to the NCL Season 2 award show. This is going to be a lot like the Grammys or the Academy Awards, where we have some coaches coming into the call to talk about the winner of each award. Now, there are 7 awards to go through, I believe, and we'll be going through each individually. We'll go through the nominees into the winner, and then the winner can talk about their award and sort of what the Mon did for them if it's a Mon award and all of that. I'll be talking about the votes and how many votes each of the nominees got as well as we go through. So I guess let's get right into things here. So the first award up to be won, I guess, is the offensive MVP. So the 3 nominees for this that made it through all of the initial voting are Volcarona from the Green Bay Glycopods with 17 kills, 5 deaths, and a plus 12 differential, finishing tied for first in differential at the end of the season. Mega Altaria of the Atlanta Raptors with 16 kills, 7 deaths, and a plus 9 differential, finishing in fourth by itself. And Kinkelder of the Wiltshire War Turtles with 19 kills, 7 deaths, and a plus 12 differential, finishing tied for first at the end of the season. In terms of voting, in the final votes, in third place was Volcarona of the Green Bay Glycopods with 3 votes. In second place was Mega Altaria of the Atlanta Raptors with 4 votes. And in first place, with its coach here to talk about it, is Kinkelder with 7 votes. So if you want to maybe talk about your award, Phil, go ahead.
My boy Concalda. I told you he was tier 1 worthy at the beginning. Saw him on the draft sheet, bargain in tier 2. Picked him up, yeah, I don't know what to say really. He's just been absolutely solid all season really. Must bring every game and just put in the work. Put in a lot of work for me.
It absolutely has. I mean, it was really close to not being in first place at the end of the season in terms of actual kills, but the amount of pressure it put on is just absolutely insane.
Yeah, for sure. It seems a bit one-dimensional, but it does that very, very well
Clearly.
for me. I didn't expect it to do this well when I picked it up, but yeah,
Yeah,
happy with it. Happy with it.
worth it a note actually. In terms of like Mons that got kills with certain moves, last season Meg Gardevoir dominated and had 24 kills, and as a result, Hyper Voice ended up finishing third in all-time like top killing attacks. This season, Drain Punch has 15 kills and is in seventh place because of Conkeldurr. So that's pretty insane.
That's good to know. Good to know. Yeah. I'd say it's just put in the work for me. Yeah. I said at the beginning, it was a steal in tier 2, so hopefully prove that now.
Yeah, I guess we'll be voting on it for season 3 because of all the work that it's put in now. All right, so next up on the awards is the defensive MVP. Now, I guess I totally forgot to talk about what offensive MVP meant. It was the Pokemon that did the best job offensively for each team. And so the defensive MVP is the Pokemon that did the best job defensively, obviously. And so the nominees for defensive MVP are Melodic of the Ladner Lantern with 14 kills, 3 deaths, and an 11 differential. Zapdos of the Tampa Bay Weasels with 11 kills, 5 deaths, and a plus 6 differential. And Gorgeist of the Adelaide Overheat with 2 kills, 8 deaths, and a minus 6 differential. In terms of voting, in third place was Gorgeist of the Adelaide Overheat with 2 votes. In second place was Zapdos of the Tampa Bay Weasels with 3 votes. And your winner of the Defensive MVP award with 9 votes is Melodic, which is pretty insane. I'm actually the coach for Melodic, so I'll step in and talk about Melodic, I guess. This thing has walled almost every single team this season. It could be 1 death less if it didn't get flinched by a Thunderfang from Mega Arrow, and probably would have gotten at least 2 more kills there. I think just as an overall MVP of my team, Melodic would win that because it's just been so solid. People just have a hard time breaking Melodic, and I think that's going to change in playoffs because people are going to probably prep a lot harder for Melodic, but throughout the regular season, it seemed fairly under-prepped for, especially like a stallier set with Recover and things like that. So now we'll move on to the Seventh Man Award. Now, the Seventh Man Award, this is the Pokemon that didn't come to many matches, but had a huge impact when it did. There were a few Nominations initially that seemed to be really weird because they didn't actually fit what the award meant, but those sort of got filtered through the narrowing process, and now we're into the actual proper nominees for this award. So the three nominees for the Seventh Man Award are Volcanion of the Seattle Raptors with 12 kills, 5 deaths, and a +7 differential. Electrode of the Cleveland Cavaliers with 2 kills, 3 deaths, and a -1 differential, and Pilliswine of the Detroit Terravolts with 6 kills, 6 deaths, and a +0 differential. So tied for second are Electrode and Pilliswine, each with 2 votes, and your winner of the Seventh Man Award is Volcanion with 10 votes, which is absolutely insane. Everyone seemed to believe that Volcanion was the one, if you will, for the Seventh Man Award. And I know we have Daniel here in the call. I'm not sure. Daniel, do you want to talk about Volcanion winning the Seventh Man Award?
It's a little loud on my end, but yeah, I don't know how Volcanic got this award since it came to most of my matches after I picked it up. you know,
Yeah, it
um,
it sort of didn't really fit the description, but it seems that everyone wanted a reason to vote Volcanion.
yeah, I mean, it was great. I needed a more offensive fire type mon, and Volcanion fit the spot, and it just kind of dominated when it was on the team. It would have done a little better had it not had some misses here and there that kind of stopped its streak from making the top three kill, but leaders. But it put in worked, so I don't know how it's the seventh man.
I think it might
yeah,
have been your seventh man, just because your season didn't start off so well, but you ended up pushing yourself into the playoffs because of picking up Volcanion. And I think that had a big impact on everyone who was voting for this award, because it kind of crushed the entire category, if I'm being honest as well.
yeah. No, I agree. Volcanion put in the work, and even at times where I didn't consider bringing it, I just saw that it put in the work, so it had to come in.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And you know this because I thought like I don't want to bring it because he's expecting it, but
But it
it
just
puts in
does
the
so
work. So,
well. Exactly, exactly. All right, well, thank you very much, Daniel, for your thoughts on
thank you.
Volcanion. So the next award up for grabs here is the Most Improved Coach Award. Now, the sort of the point of this is that the coach that is most improved is the coach that improved the most over this season alone. Now, some people took into account the difference from last season and this season, which is definitely helpful because the three nominees all did compete in season one. And we'll sort of see how that affects the voting. So the three nominees are Austin and the Atlanta Raptors with 5 wins, 7 losses, a -9 differential, and his highest win streak was 4 wins throughout the season. Daniel and the Seattle Raptors, and I realized I screwed up this slide, but I can check his record right now. He was 6-6, -8, with a highest win streak of 4 wins. And Magic and the Snow Point City Blizzard with 3 wins, 9 losses, a -25 differential, and his highest win streak being 2 right at the end of the season here. So in terms of voting for this award, in third place with 2 votes is Magic of the Snow Point City Blizzard. In second place, with 5 votes, is Daniel and the Seattle Raptors. And in first place, with 7 votes, is Austin and the Atlanta Raptors, winning the most improved coach. Now, Austin cannot be here, unfortunately, for the awards show, but we have his good friend Shade to step in and talk about what this means to Austin.
Hello, hello, everybody. Again, I'm not Austin. So going through this, definitely looking at his season one record of 1-11 and all that, improving from that wise, as well to being competing in the playoffs in the next few weeks here, very much means a lot to him. It's showing overall improvement, and it's showing that I don't know how to say this, honestly. Honestly, I don't.
Well, I agree. I think he's improved a lot. Unfortunately, he's sort of hit a skid at the end of the season. He did start off 4-0, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he started off 4-0.
He did.
And from there, he only had 1 win on the back half of the season, unfortunately. But it was enough in our conference for him to make playoffs comfortably. He did have a 2 win cushion at the end of the day. despite losing. And his last two matches didn't matter at all. So you kind of take the 5-7 with a little bit of a grain of salt there because he really had two meaningless matches at the end, which could have very well pushed him to 7-5 if he really needed it to.
100% though. Congratulations to Austin and everybody else in the season. And from an outsider perspective, I'm sorry to the losers, but Pepe hands.
Alrighty, so the next award up for voting was the Coach of the Season. Now, this is an award for the coach in everyone else's mind that performed the best throughout the season. Now, granted, most of the votes, I should say, 12 out of the 14 votes for all of these categories were from all of the coaches, and so this is sort of a peer-to-peer comparison of how each of the coaches did throughout the season. Now, it actually turns out that all three nominees finished with the exact same record, but different differentials. And they all three of them actually finished in the top three overall spots in the league. So the three nominees are first up myself, and again I screwed up on this slide and I still have the question marks, but I can read off the records. Myself, I finished the season with a 9-3 record and a plus 23 differential. And my highest win streak I think was 4 games. Let me just double check that. 4 games I think. Yes, my highest win streak was 4 games. The next nominee was Ben and the Tampa Bay Weasels with 9 wins, 3 losses, a plus 20 differential, and his highest win streak being 5, which is actually tied for the highest win streak throughout the season. And the third nominee is Phil and the Wiltshire Wartortles with a 9-3 differential, or 9-3 record, sorry, a plus 21 differential, and his highest win streak being, let me just double check this as well, his highest win streak also being 4 wins. So in terms of voting, keep in mind we did do this vote before week 12 was finished, so it may not be the best representation of who the actual coach of the season was at the end of the day. But in third place for voting was Phil and the Wiltshire Wartortles with 3 votes. In second place was Ben and the Tampa Bay Weasels with 4 votes. And the winner of the Coach of the Season award is myself with 7 votes, which is kind of crazy. I was not expecting this at all, actually, because I really don't think that I deserved it, to be completely honest with you. I actually lost twice to Phil and once to Ben, which is my 3 losses for the season, against both of the other nominees. So it seems kind of weird to me that I was voted for Coach of the Season, but there you go. I actually didn't vote for myself. I voted for Ben, if it makes anyone feel better. And I don't really have much to say. I'll accept the award because it's fun and it's cool. I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't win it last season. Granted, Matt did have a better record than I did. And so I guess this kind of makes up for it somehow, even though it's a completely different season. I don't know. I'm still kind of confused. So moving on to our final 2 awards. 2 new awards this season, actually, compared to last season. The next one on the block is the Untapped Potential Award. Now, this was suggested. I can't remember who suggested this, but maybe I can actually scroll up and look a little bit upwards here. Jed actually suggested this. Jed suggested this award, and this award is for the Pokemon that looked the best on paper, and it did next to nothing during the season. So these are Mons that are pretty much OP in most other drafts, and basically did nothing this season. I mean, not necessarily nothing, but close enough to nothing, I guess. So first up for the nominations is Landorus Therian of the Snowpoint City Blizzard. This was Magic's first round pick. He actually sniped it from me, and it went 0-2 with a -2 differential. And maybe I'll just like search up how many games it came to as well. Leaders and oh, whoops, actually that's not on that tab. His team page. So Landorus came to 4 games. No, that's Aggron. It came to 3 games, went 0-2, didn't pick up a kill, and it actually won 1 game, where I guess it just didn't get a kill or a death. Celesteela is another nominee from the Detroit Terravolts that went 7-11 with a -4 differential. A lot less disappointing than I was expecting, but in terms of this league, Celesteela smashed the league last season, and so I guess that's a big dip for it here. It did come to 11 games of Nacho's 12 games, so it only missed 1 game this entire season. It actually died every time, and it only ended up winning 3 games, but those were all 3 games that Nacho won. And the last nominee was Zygarde 50% from the Seattle Raptors, going 3-6 with a -3 differential, and it came to a total of 8 games. So it didn't die every single time. It actually won 4 games of Daniel's 6 games that he won. So it's not horrible. It's tied for no, actually it's not. Volcanion is by far and away the best mon on that team. So let's get right into the votes then. In third place, with 2 votes, is Celesteela of the Detroit Terravolts. In second place, with 4 votes, is Zygarde 50% of the Seattle Raptors. And your winner of the Untapped Potential Award is Landorus Therian of the Snowpoint City Blizzard with 8 votes. This Mon was just incredibly unfortunate. Does anyone want to step up and talk about Landorus Therian? Anybody at all? I can talk about it as well, but anybody in the call? Maybe? Came to 3? All right, no one wants to talk about Lando. I'll talk about Lando. oh, Dom wants to talk
I
about
have something
Lando.
to say about Lando.
There we go.
Lando obviously needs to be tier 4 confirmed. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate, isn't it? Matt actually had Lando in season 1. It did all right in season 1 for Matt. It wasn't a standout Mon on Matt's team, to be honest. Volcarona and Jirachi were both standouts on his season 1 team. Volcarona continuing to stand out for his team in season 2, if I can be honest, because it did tie for first in kills this season, and it was like third last season or something like that. So that's just Matt, though. Matt's just a really good coach. I guess, yeah, I mean, not really much to talk about Lando. Like, I feel like as a round 1 pick, you kind of want to build around it, and Magic ended up building more around Ferrothorn, which is his round 2 pick. I believe he actually drafted Rain just to cover Ferrothorn's fire weakness, and that was sort of the main strategy for him all season. Magic in himself is a very odd draft league player because he doesn't use OP stuff very well. He sort of ends up using, less OP stuff. I mean, Quillfish is like was the highest kill leader on his team, so we'll sort of see. Or we've seen throughout the season that Quillfish has sort of been the MVP of his team, rather than Lando, which is the only Mon on his team to not get a single kill, which is quite surprising actually. Klefki even picking up 1 this season. So, I guess that's going to be it for this category, and now we'll move on to the last category, which is extremely close, and I've got a lot to talk about this last category in. So the last category is the Best Gloomon, which is another award that was brand new. Castform didn't tie for kills though. Castform only had like 2, and Quillfish had 8.
I meant differential.
Differential wise. There you go. So Best Gloomon. This is an award that I think it was suggested by Austin, actually. Yep, it was. It was suggested by Austin. The Mon that held its team together by itself, realistically. So there were a few Mons in the nomination part of this that really didn't fit the bill because the team would function, like if you were to take it away, the team would still function properly without it. And that sort of led to a lot of confusion around this award, and we might just have to reword it for next season if we bring it back as an award next season, because it sort of didn't fit the bill. But the nominees for the Best Gloomon, first up was Mega Altaria of the Atlantis Raptors with 16 kills, 7 deaths, and a +9 differential. Zapdos of the Tampa Bay Buizzles with 11 kills, 5 deaths, and a +6 differential. And Clefable of the UNC Wingles with 13 kills, 6 deaths, and a +7 differential. So, in third place was Mega Altaria of the Atlantis Raptors with 3 votes. And then it was so close, it was really too close to call just because of how the voting worked. There was an initial tie between Clefable of the UNC Wingles and Zapdos of the Tampa Bay Weasels. So we did have to go to a tiebreaker, which also ended in a tie, technically. And so it caused Jed to have to change his vote to actually decide a winner for this because Jed was the only person who had voted for Mega Altaria in the tiebreaker because I decided to throw Mega Altaria in. Why not into the tiebreaker? Because if Mega Altaria ended up winning the tiebreaker, then I would have given the award to Mega Altaria. So the tie was broken, and your winner of the Best Gloomon And the Mon that held its team together is Clefable of the UNC Wingles with 13 kills, 6 deaths, and a +7 differential, sneaking by Zapdos by 1 vote. So maybe we'll actually just get Ben to slide in and talk about Zapdos really quickly here, because I think that would be worthwhile since Zapdos came so close to winning this one. Ben, do you want to talk about Zapdos?
I do want to talk about Zapdos. Just a little bit disappointed. Zapdos was fantastic all season. Static paralysis every single game. It held my entire team together. It got so many kills. It got like 10 kills or something, and it was such a pain for everybody to break it down defensively. I think it should have been best Gloomon because Zapdos was good. So yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that Jay is in the call, he has said that there are going to be cat noises, so we will throw it over to Jed to talk about Clefable winning the Best Gloomon Award.
Seriously, like Clefable, fuck Clefable. It's literally the only reason that Jay got wins this season, to be honest. Like 12 kills, 6 deaths, or 13 kills if you
13,
include the
yeah.
passive one. And from 9 games played, and it's the only Mon on his team that has only Mon on his team that has double-digit kills.
I want to say that it's the only Mon in his team that had a positive differential, but I think Cloyster was positive as well. Oh, and Haxorus was +1 too.
Yeah. But like,
yeah, this Mon, dude.
it's the only thing that got him into playoffs and held his team together.
He's not in
Got him
playoffs.
close. Got him close to playoffs.
It did. I mean,
It's
honestly,
the only thing that gave him the opportunity. Like, it was the only Mon holding this team together. That's literally why it won the Gloomon. That's why I voted for it over Zapdos, because Zapdos, yeah, was a really great defensive wall for Ben and stuff like that, but Clefable held Jay's team together and it got him the wins that he got. So
it
Zapdos
really
is not the reason why Ben's team did well, whereas Clefable's the only reason that Jay got wins.
To be fair, Jay did take an FF win off of Cade, which was his 4th. But I will say Clefable was pretty gross, especially against Jed. It kind of picked up a lot of kills that it probably shouldn't have. With I think that was Calm Mind plus Cosmic Power. I can't remember, and I think Jay actually boosted over what he needed to because he couldn't remember the calc. No. Against Nacho as well. It was gross, and it won. It killed way too many things, of course. I want to say it got 6 kills against Nacho. It got 6 kills against one of them. If I'm being honest with you guys, Clefable looked like it was complete garbage at the beginning of the season. It had basically no kills, and it was dying every single game as Jay's season. Oh, it was Phil. Sorry. Yes, thank you, Phil, for pointing that out. It did fuck you up pretty hard. Clefable is absolutely monstrous, and once Jay fixed his team and decided to start building around Clefable instead of building around Mega Camerupt, it started to actually do stuff. And I think that is going to about wrap it up here. That was the final award. In the actual voting, I did ask for feedback about what people wanted to see and what they didn't want to see. But those are really comments for just me to read. So I'm pretty much done talking about this, and I wanted to thank everyone for a great season. This is obviously the end of the regular season for season 2. I want you guys to stay informed for the playoffs. We will have a playoff pick'em video going up just to sort of recap all of the pick'ems for week 11 and week 12, I think that we're behind on. And then at the end of playoffs, we'll have a pick'ems video because there is a pick'ems bracket going out right now that is pretty fun. And it's more like a real sports sort of bracket. And you guys will see weekly recap videos going up for each round of the playoffs as well. There was a bye week this week for any coaches listening to this. We'll have a bye week to wait for all of the playoff pick'em brackets to come in. And I hope you guys are excited for playoffs and season 3 in the future. So, yeah, catch you guys next time.